Hey guys, Dex Water Adventures here. I know it's been a few days since I put something out there for you guys, but I got to tell you, been working on this boat build, and I got to give all those boat builders out there some kudos, because I have realized there is nothing easy about building a boat. There's nothing easy about modifying a boat. There's a lot of geometry involved. Thank you to one of my friends, Rowdy, for all his assistance in the geometry and the math department. But boy, guys, got to tell you, what a pleasure it's been so far. It hasn't come without its challenges. I know I was going to post a little post here and there, just kind of update you guys. But I got to tell you, to be honest with you, there's a lot involved in doing this. And I've watched all these other YouTubers out there building these things, and I see that, you know, they're really good. They're really good at their art, and you know, and everybody builds a little bit differently and does things a little bit differently. Anyway, so quick update, real quick. As you can see, I've got the floor in. All right, I don't have it exposed. I will expose it again, and I will take another video. But I do have what I've done so far. I've built a pretty big casting deck. I'm gonna have 2 storage containers. This one will hold the battery. As you can see, I've got a battery mount in there. Battery box with some L bracket aluminum done down there. That'll be an anchor locker, and that will be a place for the battery to go to. Still have a lot of wiring to do, as you can tell, but mainly wanted to work on getting this floor done. And I gotta tell you guys, you know, I talked to a whole lot of people. I did not use marine wood, okay? But there's some things that I'm kind of planning for. So when I'm doing this design of this boat, one thing I wanted to do was make the floor pretty quick and easily be removed if it needs to be any maintenance done to it or anything, touch-ups, resealed. I am planning to epoxy this wood. I'm going to do 2 coats. The edges, holes, screws, everything. I'm going to make sure that there's epoxy on everything and multiple coats. I don't expect this floor to last 25, 30 years. But I also know this boat's probably not going to sit outside. And even if it did, it's probably going to be covered up at times, but most of the time I'll sit here inside my shop, so it won't be exposed to the weather all the time. Unless, of course, I end up selling it, which was probably could be a good, you know, good possibility that might happen. But anyway, so I built brackets all on the floor using the aluminum. I watched a lot of other Tiny Boat Nation, some other YouTube channels, which gave great information on how to do stuff. Actually had, you know, quite a few of them, you know, sell kits and stuff too. I didn't buy a kit. I just went and essentially pieced together what I think I would need to complete this project. But so here we are today. I've got the floor done. When I say I've got it done, I've got it basically cut and measured. It's taken a lot to get to this point. And the reason why I say it's taken a lot to get to this point, because nothing was very easy. Nothing came easy. There was a lot of stuff to do, a lot of measurements to make, a lot of measurements to take. You can somewhat get a good idea of how I did my upper framing for my cast deck. I did do all aluminum on it. It is pretty heavy duty stuff. I know you're like, hey Deck, there's no brace right there. You probably need to put another brace in, but what I've got going in down here is another subfloor, and there'll be a wood going down here too. And so it will add additional bracing to that area. But the whole floor is essentially braced out like that, except a lot stronger. I wanted to make sure, because I'm using 1/2-inch wood, which it's pretty interesting. It's actually a 5-ply, and it measures just over, I don't know, just over 1/2 inch in depth. But I started noticing and counting, and one thing, and I learned this at Home Depot too, they also count by the number of sheets so that they can know what to charge you, because a lot of times there's no stickers on this or whatnot. But this one is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ply piece of standard plywood. Again, I'm not using marine wood. I'm not, you know, these were already like $52 a sheet. which I was kind of like, well, after building my front casting deck, I realized I went through 3 sheets. Actually, I take that back, 4 sheets. And you're like, why'd you go through so many? Well, I'm not a boat builder. And I'm also not a woods craftsman or whatever you'd call it. I just like to get out and enjoy boats. So I took my stab at building this thing, and so far I think it's come out okay. As you can see, I did end up doing 2 pieces there. I do have that slid back right now just so you guys can get an idea. And you can see up under there how I've got the battery box mounted up. I did use some stainless steel brackets, and most of them I made myself. So I took the little angle iron, the angle aluminum, and I basically cut them into multiple little tiny sections, and that way I could use them as little brackets, because the whole floor has to be fixed to the boat. And essentially what I've done is I've attached them to all of my I don't even know what they're called, but these sections of the boat, so that they have a good place to bolt down to, and then make sure that you don't obviously drill through the boat when you're doing that. But yeah, so this has been kind of a love-hate thing. I've been doing this all winter long. It's summertime, and I'm not done with it yet. I never thought it would take this long, but I am being very, very detailed in some aspects, and some aspects I didn't go with the best quality of everything, because looking at the market on these boats, they don't bring a lot. I could go in here and use the best wood, the best quality of everything, and go put this thing up for sale and find out, wow, I can't even get what I put into it. So again, I did use $52 sheet plywood, let's see, how many ply is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ply. The plywood, I think it's 515 is what it is. Yeah, it's 515, which it's really hard for a 1/2 inch plywood. But anyway, I could have gone with better. I could have used $80, $90 sheets of plywood at 4 of those, but I just decided, nah, it's too much money. I'll never get that back out of this boat. But like I said, it's next stage is now that I've got everything kind of fitted, I'll pull everything out. I'll pull the wood out. I've got it all fitted. Make sure it's all setting flat and flush on the trusses down there that I've built. I did a lot of framework, aluminum framework inside of there. I'll do a whole nother video, or I'll add to that later on. Add to this video and kind of maybe put it at the end or something, who knows. But I'll show you what I did. But next step, the reason why I haven't painted the boat yet on the interior, which I plan on doing, let me show you what I plan on using. I actually plan on using, a lot of people are like, you need to get you need to get that boat, expensive boat paint and all that. And believe me, I did use that. I did use some of that, and I used it mainly on the rear of it. I used the primer. And then on some of the carpeted areas, I've used the epoxy primer and epoxy paint on that too, to make sure, because they're carpeted areas, you're not really going to see them. So it's nice knowing underneath they're really protected. But on the boat, I'm essentially going to use this Rust-Oleum. It's the gloss smoke gray. I've seen where a lot of others have used the same color and the same product. And it should roll. I'm going to roll it on. It should roll on fairly easy. It'll take a little bit of time, but I wanted to get the boards custom fitted, because what I didn't want to do is paint the boat, then go try to custom fit the boards, and the board's scratching and dinging up the paint and all that already. So the good news is now all the boards are ready to come out. They're ready to be primered, epoxied, sealed. It's kind of interesting. I didn't really truly enjoy doing this front part up here. The front part, getting it, perfectly, the edges right here, perfectly, perfectly done. It was really difficult. So what I've decided to do, because I had already carpeted some of the back mid boat build, I said, I'm going to use some of that EVA foam. Really liking, some of these guys out here working on their boats and building them. I'm really liking what it looks like and kind of that final product. But I've already carpeted quite a bit of this, as you can see. I've carpeted the rear of it. I've carpeted the back end where the gas tank will go, and the bilge. Obviously, you can see I still got to wire the bilge up. But these areas I had already carpeted So I wanted to go ahead and keep that momentum, going. And so what I've decided to do is I'm going to carpet the front casting deck. And I know a lot of people are like, no, man, that's the best area, right? You don't want to carpet that. Yeah, that's where you want to put that foam. Well, yes, I initially thought that myself too. But because it was so difficult getting, sorry, I'm wiping up a little Gatorade I spilled. Because it was so difficult getting those edges perfect all the way to the front, I've decided I am going to carpet the front casting deck. And what I'm going to do is kind of keep a flow where the front casting deck will be carpeted, the rear end's already carpeted, and then I'm going to use EVA foam in between. And what I'll do is I'll use it on the tops of these bench seats, and that bench seat, this bench seat will obviously be covered up, with this, so I won't have to worry about that. But then I'll do it on the floor there and on the floor there. So I think it'll kind of bring it together. And what I may do is I may put some patches of EVA foam on some different areas also to kind of blend it and bring it all in. I decided on the gray. Gosh, whole boat's going to be gray, so might as well keep with that kind of feel going on. Thought about changing it up, maybe doing camo color or something in black, white, and gray, and all. I was like, no, I don't need to do all that fancy stuff. Really, all I just like to do is get some EVA foam with a mix of carpet, and then and like I said, once I think it's all done, it will tie in and pull in together. Hey, it will pull in good enough for me and what I need. Now I did buy some seats off of Amazon. Let me show you guys what I bought. Not sure I'm in love with them. But what I did like about them is these seats are really similar to what came on the boat. Now, back in these days when these boats were made, they weren't the most popular or the fanciest boats. But what I've done is I've ordered this seat. I ordered 2 of these off of Amazon, and I think it was like $39 for 2 of them. And there goes my pencil. And they do fold down. And that's what I really liked about them, was they will fold down. So when I'm traveling or I'm towing the boat, I can fold that down. But I actually sat in these things, and they're actually really comfortable. And I don't know about all you guys. I mean, I'm not super young anymore, so sitting down on a hard aluminum or even a EVA foamed bench is probably not something I wanted to do. So I bought these seats. So I'll put these seats and show you guys on the finished product when I get those installed. So that's kind of the update. That's where we're at today for Dex Water Adventures. Trailer's done. Yeah, we've got all new lights on it. We redid all the bunkie boards, got all that ready to go. That's all functional. Really neat too, because I found out that was a tilt trailer. So I can actually put this boat in from a beach, which makes it super simple just to tilt it back and shove it off, and vice versa to put it back on. So super excited that that's a tilt trailer. So I think that's it about for right now. Like I said, I'll pull this floor off, and I may make a short video on that too to show you guys kind of what the floor looked like. Again, I give all these boat builders out here major kudos, because if you aren't a boat builder and you go to do this, there's a lot of learning curve here, and I by no means any kind of expert at this. So you don't take for what I say is the best way or the worst way, or anything like that. Just know that I'm not an expert at building boats, nor am I expert at figuring out all the geometry around it. So I had a little bit of help there too. And so I'm open for any feedback you guys have, any ideas, things you might like to see. I suspect probably about another 2 or 3 weeks, I'll hopefully be to the point where we can get the motor mounted on and make sure that we got it adjusted. I'm hoping I don't need to order a jack plate. I don't think I am. I've already measured. It's a short shaft 25. This transom is made for a short shaft motor. So based on my measurements, where it needs to be right at the bottom, I think we're right there for the bottom of that motor. So excited about that. The only thing it doesn't have is it doesn't help tilt and trim, which kind of wish it did, but when I bought it, I wasn't thinking about that. I only got the electric, so I could add something later on if I wanted to put something on it. But I think for now, it's a simple, easy lake boat. I'm going to rig it up for either fishing or just for really just joy riding around and doing some adventures on it. Once I get that casting deck done and get it all set and get it all perfect, I may want to take a night and go camp out on it and see how that works. And so anyway, so more to come, guys. Stay posted. I got a splinter in my finger already. See, this just goes to show I'm not an expert at doing this. But more to come. I'll get some more content, more video out there for you guys. And if you have any questions or any thoughts or something you'd like to see, you know, or just if you want to tell me that, hey, you did it all wrong, you should have done it this way, that's great. I mean, you can, hey, guys, tell me, I'm always open to learn. You know, I will tell you that I won't build another boat. This has been kind of a great experience for me, but I kind of only like to do things like one time like that. I don't want to make a career of boat building and modifying and changing boats and all that. Really, for me, it was a winter project. And so far, it's been a pretty fun one. Anyway, all right, guys. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. And again, I'll get more content out there for you guys shortly. All right, Dex Water Adventures out.